Hey everybody, I wanted to give you an update from the last time that we sent out a newsletter. First of all, I want to thank all of you who have given financially during this unprecedented time, and for those of you that have been praying for us. Well, since my last report, Cebu City is still under strict quarantine measures and have been since March 15th. We still have the military checkpoints we pass through at different points around town. We still have to present our quarantine pass at those checkpoints, and when we enter into establishments, there's a 10 o'clock curfew which is enforced, and those that are under 21 and over 60 are supposedly not allowed out of their homes. Now, aside from wearing the face mask, we also have to wear a face shield as we enter establishments and go to work. And so businesses recently have started opening up, but if you violate any of the terms of quarantine, you're subject to arrest and fines. In the midst of all this, we've still been able to help out over 100 families who desperately needed food and assistance during this time. We've helped people with hospital expenses, people that were behind on their bills. And I saw an article last week that said the unemployment rate right now in the Philippines is between 45 to 48%. It's just insane. So I'm sure people are going to be needing assistance for a long time. I mean, several families from our church community have been out of a job for months. There's very little assistance from the government. And recently we were able to help a single mom in our church that wanted to work from home but didn't have the technology available. So we were able to buy her a laptop so that she can help support her family. We also provided a laptop for a high school student who's going to be attempting to do online schooling. I mean, the schooling situation here is a mess. I think it is in the States too, to some extent. Some are doing online classes, but the internet here is so unpredictable, so a lot of frustration around that. The public schools are even in worse shape, especially in rural areas. Since 2013, we've been walking alongside an elementary school in Bantayan Island, and the students there will have to complete take-home workbooks every week. And in principle, that probably sounds like a good idea. But each school has to print their own modules. They've got 500 students who complete 8 subjects a week at 30 pages in each module, and the school has to print those with 2 inkjet printers. And they have to rely on private donations for the paper, the ink, and the supplies to print the lessons because they just weren't provided by the government. I mean, last week we sent up 100 reams of paper and other supplies, which didn't even cover a week of what they need. But nevertheless, the teachers in Taurong Elementary School were so grateful for this help. I mean, for my first 20 years in the Philippines, I used to be incredibly frustrated because I found myself saying, it doesn't make sense. And now I've learned to say, it doesn't have to make sense. And that doesn't change the situation, but it does help my level of frustration. And this is just one of those classic, it doesn't have to make sense situations. There are still so many people in poverty here in the Philippines, and the needs are greater than ever. I mean, one of the most fulfilling things that we've done over the years of ministry here in the Philippines is to take part in helping children get a decent education. Because I think it's usually their only chance oftentimes to break out of the cycle of poverty. So I'm going to throw out what might be the most audacious appeal that I've done in a long time. September 9th is going to mark our 27th year here in the Philippines. I'd like to see if we can pull together and raise $27,000 in the next 27 days to purchase at least 27 laptops for high school students here in Cebu. I'd also like to help take the load off of the teachers in Taurong by providing them the paper and other supplies that they need to print these modules. I mean, I know the pandemic has affected people all over the world, very possibly has touched you in some way, most likely in your finances or your work situation. But I also know that we serve a big God, and that if He wants this to happen, it will. So would you pray about it? And here's what I'd like to ask you to do. Give if you can give, as generously as you can. And what I'd also like to ask you to do is to take a little bit of a risk and share this newsletter in video with a few of your friends that maybe aren't already connected with our work here in Cebu. Because if you do that and God wills this, it's going to happen. And so we hope you and your family are safe. Our church is still meeting online. We'll probably continue to do so through the end of the year. But I just want to thank all of you that continue to pray for us, that you continue to give, that helps us to meet real needs with people and to present them with the life-changing message of the gospel. You know, Jesus said that to whom much has been given, much will be required. We all have been blessed so much, and so let's just share our blessings with those that are in need. So thank you so much. God bless you, and we look forward to hearing from you.